Roger Friedman is a columnist for Showbiz411.com. He joins us live in the studio. Good morning.
Good morning.
Are you surprised by the deal and how big a deal it is?
No, I'm not surprised, because since Michael died last June, he sold 31 million albums. I mean, what's happened is really ironic, because before he died, for a few years, his career was cold.
Right.
And his finances were in shambles. And since he's died, everything's taken off. Everything.
31 million albums. That's a lot.
It's a lot.
That's a lot.
And Sony wants to stay in business with him as a recording artist. And you have to remember that this amount of money, which is really, they're saying 250, but it's really about 225 million dollars. That amount of money is just for recordings.
Right.
It doesn't include his publishing. It's not merchandise. It's not live shows that they're going to have around.
Right.
You know,
built based on his music or whatever.
music.
Okay, sure.
This is just for the recordings, and it starts with Sony owed the estate money for the This Is It soundtrack.
Okay.
For the movie. So that's already part of this deal.
Oh, this is part of that too.
Yeah. So that inflated.
Quite honestly,
yeah,
this might be a very, very good deal for Sony.
Oh, this is a great deal for everybody.
Yeah.
It's a great deal for everybody, because Sony's always been in business with Michael Jackson
Right.
since 1979.
Sure.
So they want to keep it that way. They have the catalog, and this is very good for them.
You know, I think if I went and looked up the Elvis estate.
Right.
Because it was a couple of years ago, somebody spent $100 million just to get a piece of the Elvis estate.
Right.
Because it still generates, after what who died in the 70s.
But that includes.
Still generates all kinds of money.
That was a good deal, but that was just merchandising.
Right.
And even Madonna and Jay-Z have deals that were pretty lucrative last year.
Right.
But they included concert tours and all that.
All right.
The only deal that was close to this was Bruce Springsteen, also at Sony,
Right.
5 years ago, got $100 million.
Interesting.
And that was very
Just
controversial.
right.
But this is really the big deal of all time.
So how does this, it's very interesting, because, you know, we observed his family so closely through
Yes.
all of this. They must be pleased.
Well, the kids are really the beneficiaries of this. Michael's 3 kids.
Okay.
Because it goes to his estate.
All right.
And they're the prime beneficiaries, and his mother will get something. But those are really the only people who really get anything out of this.
So Joe and the brothers do not stand to gain from this per se?
No. Well, you know, Joe Jackson has been petitioning the court asking for an allowance.
Right.
Even though he wasn't in the will, specifically not in the will. And now I can tell you that he's been offered a monthly allowance of $15,000 a month, and he doesn't want it. It's not enough for him. So he's still carrying on in court. But that's a whole other story.
Wow.
But the kids, at least, who are great kids, and they're fixed for life.
Wow, that is, indeed.
So hopefully they'll grow up nicely and be able to spend it well.
Wow. Roger, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.